Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So, seems as though Kimora is in a lot of trouble and she's going to have a lot of legal issues come 2026 as it relates to Russelsimmons and his shares in Celsius. Do you guys remember it was only a few days ago that Kimora did an interview and she basically said that she's not on good terms with any of her kids' father, and Russell responded saying it's because she stole his money, right? And he said that he was giving her $50,000 a month and he's the godfather to all of her kids. They were best friends. But the truth is that Kimora stole his money and that's how they basically, followed since then. Then, days after, Kimora clapped back at Russell saying that Russell is yet to pay his victims and he should watch out. This is not verbatim to what she said, but basically she's saying, why are you hiding out there in Indonesia, right? Now, the daughter, the Okili, she spends a lot of time with her father in Indonesia. And I'm just learning that because now, based on what I'm seeing on their reality TV series, she's going back to Indonesia to spend time with her father. That's all of Kimora's kids. They're brilliant. They attend college like at the age of 14, finish by the age of 17 or 18. Double majors and all, they're all geniuses. Make no mistakes and don't be tricked by some of the things that they're putting out there in their reality TV series. It's just for entertainment and, for it to seem as though they're like the rest of us when they're not, right? No. The reason why I want to talk about this is because I have been following Russelsimmons' lawsuit against Kimora. And Russell said he basically accused Kimora and Tim Leisner to have stolen his shares from Celsius, right? And then recently, Kimora said in an interview that she owns Celsius. So I started digging up and I realized that no, she doesn't own Celsius. She has garnered significant amount of shares in Celsius over time, and her shares in Celsius is worth like $300 million, right? No, back to that time when Russell accused her of stealing his shares and, Russell submitted some information to the judge showing that the shares were taken out and, the shares were transferred and all of that allegedly. So the judge was asking Kimora and Tim, what's your reason for messing with Russell's money? And in their response to Russell's, lawsuit, Kimora and Tim wrote a letter to the judge saying that they are entitled to Russell's money under California's Free Speech Act. I kid you not. I'm not making that up. That was their response. And the judge was like, you have to be kidding me, right? Seriously, someone accused you of stealing their money and you're going to tell the court that you're entitled to that money under California's Free Speech Act. So the judge was like, that's not how California's Free Speech Act works. Money is not a free speech act, So Russell then, requested for the court to subpoena Kimora to get all her phone records and banking details because Russell is saying to the judge, this is where all the evidence is at. So Kimora has January to come in with her attorney because all the information that Russell has requested, the court has approved for it to be handed over to the judge, right? So that's the discovery in the lawsuit. No, I'm learning that, Kimora is planning on using this excuse of Russell gave her the shares because initially when he invested in Celsius, he thought that the shares were worthless. And I'm like, in no way she's moving for that motion coming January 2026. They're saying, that is what I'm seeing on TikTok, and I'm doing some checks, and I'm saying, but I never saw this conversation anywhere before. And when I read the court documents, it was never included in the court documents. So it has to be what she's planning on coming with, come January 2026. And I'm saying, but Kimora, she has to be smarter than that, because you can't say this man gave you his Celsius shares because he thought it was worthless when Celsius was doing well. Within their first year, they were doing well. Remember, Kobe and everyone in that, circle was telling everyone to invest in Celsius, and they all did. So with her allegedly planning this move coming January, saying that Russell gave her all the shares because he thought it was like she could not be using this as an excuse come January 2026, because it's not making any sense, because you said that you were entitled to the money under California Free Speech Act. So you can't be coming back with something else, that is so off come January 2026. It's not making any sense. But let's see if that is what Kimora actually comes with, because I want to follow up on this case. And when I say to you guys, I'm deeply invested into this case. I don't believe that she should have taken that man's money. I don't support any of Russell's violent actions. I don't support any actions of crime against anyone at all. I don't. And I believe that Russell definitely needs to close out the cases with his victims and pay those women, because he had promised them if they had dropped the case, he would have compensated them. And he needs to compensate those women. It's long overdue, but to hear that Kimora might be coming with that line of defense January, I can't wait to see if it's true, because I don't believe it. I don't believe that's what she's coming with. But anywho, guys, leave your comment below. Let me know what's your thoughts. And while you're at it, do all you need to on this video. Peace.